Welcome to Movie Addicts, and this is where we give our takes. Me, T-Mac, Spicy, and we give our take on current movies that are in the theater. We do a movie review of. We go to catch a movie every week, and we try to tell you if you should either screen it or stream it. So we hope you enjoy the content. If you do like the content, subscribe,
Click the button, likes.
anything. We're new, so whatever any comments you have, just drop it in the box below. We don't want to waste too much of your time, so we're gonna get right into it. Our first segment is upcoming movies. What we're looking forward to this upcoming week is The Joker.
Definitely.
It's starring Joaquin Phoenix. The trailer's been pretty good. Everybody's loving it so far. It seems like it's doing really well. So we haven't decided if it was going to be Thursday or Sunday, but it looks like we're all leaning towards Sunday. So it'll be a little later than some of the movie reviews that you see, but we'll have it up as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And from that segment, we're going to go straight into the screening or streaming. All right. So what we reviewed this week was Hustlers. It's starring J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, Julia Stiles, Constant Wu, Cardi B, Keke Palmer, Lizzo was on and did a feature. G-Eazy was in it. So
That kind of surprised me.
So basically, this movie is inspired to viral New York Magazine article. Hustlers follows a crew of savvy former strip club employees who band together to turn the tables on their Wall Street clients. If I had to give a better description, it's about a bunch of strippers who decide that they want to make more money and come up with an elaborate scheme to line their pockets with a lot of money very quickly.
And they do a good job too.
Yeah. So first off, I'm going to say that when you go into this, if you go into this movie, you have to be prepared to watch a true story based on true story events. I don't know. I don't know if it's loosely based or not because I didn't read the article and I don't know if the girls is exaggerating or not. So we go just taking off of face value after watching the movie. I will say the one thing that I noticed more than anything was that a lot of characters seem to be not very intelligent. And that's not a knock on any of the actresses whatsoever. The characters were portrayed as not very bright. There's a lot. It seemed like they got a lot of characters got taken advantage of in this elaborate scheme. And the two people that were at the top were the two of the smarter two.
Yeah, they still had their flaws. It just seemed like actually just the top like Jill's character. She seemed like she was the most street savvy. She always have like a backdoor exit. Always like kept her spot not being like she's never gonna get taken advantage of.
She was always the top dog.
Yeah. And then she relied on her friend who basically she shouldn't have relied on. Like she always portrayed herself as naive, even from the beginning.
But even with that being said, that she was one of the smarter out of the people out of the whole crew. So she's the one that, not the brains behind the operation, but she put a lot of the wheels in motion.
Put the rules, established the rules. Like we don't deal with these people. We deal with these people.
And everything that she was talking made a lot of sense. You know?
And then I guess it was J-Lo's character's ambition, like to always wanting more. Yeah. And never satisfied. So I guess that was the downfall. But I feel like Jill's character was the most street savvy, and if she would have just kept her greed in check, she'd have been fine.
Yeah, so for the pros is, when I'm watching the movie, I don't feel like I'm watching something that couldn't happen. Like it was all very
plausible.
So the fact that that happened, like when you watch The Wolf of Wall Street, sometimes you go, how did he get that much money? You know, like, so you kind of like second guess it, but that is also loosely based on true story. This one, I never felt like they were above they went above what they did. There was a couple scenes where you're like, oh yeah, 50,000. Okay, this is getting to the point where somebody's going to blow their circle open sooner or later. Like you knew it was coming to a head. but I never felt like that they were above their means. Like they were like the things that they were trying to pull off weren't unfeasible. Like
they were obtainable.
They were in the realm of possibility. So that was cool. When you watch the strip club scenes, everything seemed to come together. It made sense how it was. It was all set up perfectly. All the characters, I have even met people in that profession that seemed like that. So it wasn't like it was like, oh, it's far-fetched by any means.
Yeah. Well, to me, I like the plot. I like the story. Like it's weird because the first quarter, the first third of the movie, it's what I kind of expected going into this. Oh, strippers, gonna see a lot of nudity, a lot of them like just in their realm dancing, showing off how they're either good strippers or bad strippers, the hierarchy of the strippers, and
the personalities,
how it kind of works. Like if as a stripper, you have to pay the DJ, you have to pay the bouncer, you have to pay people off. And so I was like, okay, this is what I expected. And then, like after the third of the movie, like they just dropped all the basically half that people that's listed as like actors.
Yeah.
They dropped all the non-actors and just kept the actors and rolled with it. And then it's just after that it's acting, and it's just you rarely see any more nudity other than that. And it just becomes the story. The story unfolds, the story progresses.
There's a scene in the movie where Constance Wu probably did one of the best things I've seen in a long time. Like she, like it like I was like, oh, like I was sitting there watching and I actually like had a heartfelt moment for her at that time. And this movie I didn't really care about any of the characters at all. Like I wasn't like invested in any of the characters. But that moment was the moment that I remember. Like I could watch that movie again, and then when I watch the movie the next time, it'll hit me the exact same because it's a very powerful moment in the movie. I thought it was well done.
And it was just her. I think using like she's just because she's talking to a reporter, and it's just her just like this, just looking at the camera, and you can. And she acted.
You could feel the emotion from her for sure.
I was like, oh damn, all right. And J-Lo's performance
is really legit too, honestly.
But I feel like that's just her. She didn't act. She just portrayed herself in the movie. Like I feel like that's how she is in real life, kind of. She has like.
It doesn't seem far fetched from the stories that you read about J-Lo, so I can see it.
Yeah, very like fiery Latina from the Bronx. Boom, that's her, and that's who she plays.
Cardi B played herself.
Yeah, basically, literally like all her.
They could have just said Cardi B and it would have been her.
Yeah.
But the downside to some of these movies is the movie itself, the direction was all over the place. Like, it doesn't take you smoothly from one moment of their lives to another. It's like, oh, she's a stripper, and now she has a baby daddy. Like, it was so fast to the point where you're like, oh.
Well, like, because that bond, it never shows how they bonded. It just shows that they're bonded. Like, when Constance Wu meets J-Lo, they share a cigarette. All of a sudden, it's a small montage of her teaching her how to dance, and all of a sudden, they're sisters. Yeah. Bam. And then months later, bam, they have more sisters.
I mean, they do the classic, and then next thing you know, we're the best of friends. And then you're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, you just have to suspend some belief for some of these scenes, but it's not a smooth path.
Oh, they like jerk back and like it's weird because it's very jerky because like it starts off in the future and it goes at the back and then jerks forward and then it gets all the way to the back, jerks back, gets forward. Like
basically, it's all over the place. So Benny Medina directed the movie. I don't feel like I know a lot of. I didn't look up a lot of what Benny Medina did. Honestly,
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
I will say that I was not a fan of the direction in this movie a lot. Like I feel like. Honestly, if I had to say who carried the movie, clearly it was the actresses, and that's a good thing for them. This movie's definitely not winning the Academy Award for direction. Let's put it like that.
Or it's not winning. I don't think it's winning any awards in general. Maybe an MTV award or something, but it's definitely it's just a movie you go to see for fun. Like, and it's better than average. I liked it. Like I was like, oh, I went in there with no expectations, and then I came out. I was like, oh, that's actually a pretty good movie.
That was the best part about it. I went in with super low expectations because I mean, not that I don't have any faith in the women that are portraying these characters. Like,
Yeah,
I just
like,
didn't. This is just not really my style of movie. So I go into it and I go, I'll watch this. You know, like I didn't have. When I seen the trailer. The trailer actually made me want to see the movie. So I went and saw the movie. With that being said, this is the part where we get to go. Should you see this in the movie theater or not? And for me, I'm going to have to say no. As much as I enjoyed it, I sat there and I had no problem spending the money to go see the movie, and I enjoyed my time with my friends. I'm gonna say it's a hard no for me. I think you should just wait till it come on till it comes on stream. You should stream it.
I'm gonna go see it. I liked it. If somebody said, "Hey, do you want to go see it again?" I'd be like, "Okay, why not?" So, like, if I'm already on the fence, and then somebody invited me, and they're like, "Yeah, you want to go see it?" Like, yeah, I would. Like it. I liked it. Who doesn't want to see J-Lo strip? Like,
it's funny because when we sit down and do these movie reviews, and we expect that if you're just going off of our word to go see these movies, I had to sit because when I came out the movie theater, I was like, I would definitely go see that again. I had no problem, but I would not suggest this movie to anybody to go see in the theater. So with that being said, I had to go against it. That's the reason why. I mean, I was on the fence. I was right on the fence. Yeah. But if people go, hey, should I go see Hustlers in the movie theater? I would say, no, you can wait till it comes on Netflix. Yeah. You can totally wait till it gets on Hulu for sure. So
like I did, like if you like this is definitely not a very action packed movie. So if you're thinking action packed, it's not. It does have a pretty good story. So it's okay story. It's a believable story. So, and if you like the whole, like, based on a true story, and you're like, oh, people really did this stuff? Yeah. Like, if you like that kind of stuff, if you like strippers, like nudity, J-Lo does a really good strip in the beginning. So, like, if you like...
Well, if you like J-Lo, you should definitely see this movie.
Oh, yeah. If you like J-Lo, if you do like J-Lo, like, in her acting, then you should definitely see it. This is one of her better acted movies, I think. And I guess what other box would I click for you to go watch this? I guess it's more of like an empowering for women kind of thing because you band together as women to take advantage of guys, I guess. Yeah. So if that's one of your boxes, you should go see it. But I don't know. I enjoyed it overall. It didn't wow me, but it didn't like. I was watching the whole time. There wasn't a part where I was like, oh, this is taking too long, or this is dragging out, or this and that. Like I was interested the whole time. So
I was interested the whole time. So and with that being said, that's a good point.
Yeah. So I would screen it.
And so for our next segment, the Bring It Back segment, and we couldn't. So I'm gonna be 100% honest. I did not go back and rewatch it. I usually rewatch. I'm going to probably rewatch 90% of the movies that we talk about here. I didn't go back and rewatch this one only because I didn't want to pay for it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't something that I was easily accessible.
Could not find it.
I didn't. So I was like, I can just talk about it. I've only seen. Actually, I can honestly say I've only seen this movie probably 3 or 4 times and I mean in its entirety I've only seen it twice I could think of.
I've seen it once on VHS, like, you know, and then like another time or two, like not even the whole time, like the whole movie, but it was like on UPN one time. So like a bunch of stuff got edited out and.
So with that being said, this movie is called Players Club, and it's with Ice Cube, Bernie Mac. Who's Ice Cube's sidekick in this? I don't remember. I know it had to be there. And
what's her name?
Lisa Ray.
Lisa Ray. That's
I can't think of the other dude, the dark skinned girl that's name in there either. But basically, it's about a girl who becomes a stripper and then is trying to find her way in and get her footing in the stripper. You know what I'm saying? She gets invited to go to a party as opposed to doing work in a club, and all kinds of hilariousness or serious, a lot of serious implications happen, and she ends up changing her mind at the end, I'm assuming. Jamie Foxx is in this.
Oh yeah,
he's the DJ. And honestly, I thought this movie was really good. And when Gabby said we should talk about Players Club, I was like, that's probably the one that it's probably closest to it because I was thinking,
it's that scene of that, like, basically that scene, that stripper scene. I was like, and all that stuff that happens there, like, I've seen it happen in real life. Like, I've seen people, let's make money on the side by going to houses, and you just need a bodyguard. And I was like, well, damn, if you need a bodyguard,
you probably should not do that.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. And
Because I was thinking, I was trying to get a movie that could tie into it, and when you watch Hustlers, it kind of has a Goodfellas vibe, and I was thinking Goodfellas. But at the end of the day, this was probably closer. So if you haven't seen Players Club, you should check that out.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a '90s movie if you see it. So
yeah,
so
remind a '90s black movie, by the way. And I don't like to throw that out loosely, but it's definitely the Cube Vision film.
Yeah, basically. So if you like Cube Vision, check it out. I don't even think it's Cube Vision though.
I don't think it is. That's before Cube Vision.
Okay.
All right. And
all right. So definitely check us out. Click subscribe, follow us, check out our other content that we have for Four Tops No Filters on Facebook as well. We have a lot more content on that site. And like, dislike, drop a comment, let us know what we're doing good, what we're doing bad, what you want to see more of, what we'd like to see more of, or any input really whatsoever. Like anything helps at this point.
We understand that it's new, and one thing that we are doing, we're going to change it, maybe the backdrop of our setting. We're going to start adding more graphics. We're listening to the things that people are telling us that we need to do. It's slowly but surely. Yeah. We just wanted to make sure that we get practice and putting content out. This is only our second practice video. The Joker's going to actually be our first official video, and then we're going to move forward from there. So bear with us. Let us keep practicing, and hopefully by the time Star Wars rolls in, we'll have a really solid connection with you.
Yeah, that's our goal. Like by Star Wars, we should be at least pretty solid. Like at least know mostly what we're doing, or because right now we just gotta hope we hitting something, waiting in the water, just gonna hit land somewhere.
So, with that said, these movies are rated MA for movie addicts.
Yeah, check me out.